Hey everyone, this is Pete. Welcome back to New Game Plus and our playthrough of Project Zero's post-game. Today we'll be continuing with the story mode and attempting to capture as many of the ghosts as possible on Nightmare difficulty. So, let's continue where we left off. And let's hope we have a few fewer failures this time around. Although, judging by last time's record of, was it 11 or 12? I forget. Can't be much worse than last time, let's put it that way. So, let's have a look at where we are on the ghost list. So, where are we? Okay, so these are the wandering ghosts. So the next one we should come across is Woman at Mirror. Then there should be Wandering Woman and Girl Pointing, and then there's one we need to get after that. So, let's keep an eye out for those, and continue. So, where were we at this point is the big question. Let's proceed through the mansion. These rooms are pretty safe now, although there's always a risk of ghosts just randomly showing up. There are random encounters in this. But they're mostly tied to you hanging around in one place for too long. So, if I remember correctly, the next place we need to go is through this door up here, which we use a key we found on. The brass key, in fact. There we go. And let's be ready for what this holds. No ghosts. There is something here, though, behind the table. There we are. Stone mirror. I've already got one. That's an item that fully replenishes your health if you run out once. So it's basically like an extra life. But you can only hold one of them at once. So it's worth remembering where the ones you haven't used are, just in case you do use one up and find yourself needing one. Now, I think Woman in Mirror might be in here, maybe. No, maybe not. There's no mirror in here. I thought there was something in here, but maybe there isn't. There's creepy dolls. And kimonos. And a save point, which is worth remembering. So I'm going to save that there. I'm going to be saving as much as possible throughout this, just so if we do miss a ghost, it's sort of minimum effort to go back and forth to try again. I say we do, I believe, have a buffer of a couple of ghosts going ahead. Although at this point as well, we're starting to get into the part of the game where it's a little bit more non-linear as well, where there's a few more different routes you can take. So, okay, so that door's shut. Can't go that way. So what happens with this game is each chapter is sort of set in a specific part of the house, and the other parts are blocked off. But the further you go in the game, the more of the house is accessible in one go. Right, there was someone over here at some point, but that might be a little bit later, thinking about it. Yeah, because he goes into that room there and opens the door for you, so I don't think that's until later. Let's take a look in here. Oh no, wait, before we do that. It's like a balcony door here, and I think there's one out here. No, I'm misremembering this entire game. So, ooh, there's someone in that window though. Is that someone I should have taken a picture of? I don't know if you can see that window with the camera. Well, you can. All right, let's reload and see if we can get the one in the window. I don't know if that's actually one you can get, but it's worth a try since we're doing our best to try and fill out that ghost list. Let's make an effort to get all the ones we possibly can. You can count that as a failure if you want. Right, so I think we're done in here. Just make sure we got all the items. So there was some film in those drawers there. Now there isn't, so we must have it. I really like the sound of her boots on the tatami mats in this. I don't know what it is. It's quite a sort of nice comforting sound almost. Which is very much at odds with what's going on in the rest of the game, of course. Right, so let's go out here, straight over here. Look at the window. Where's the fucking window? Right. That doesn't seem to be a thing we can take a photograph of. So, hopefully, we're good with that. I think that's just a hint that you see someone there a little bit later. Because that window belongs to this door here. Alright, so let's proceed on our merry way. The reason I'm reasonably confident that that isn't a ghost we can take a photograph of is there's normally some sort of noise accompanying a ghost you can take a picture of. To give you a cue that this is something you should be paying attention to. Oh, there's one. There's woman at mirror. Okay. So that wasn't who I thought it was. That's one that's kind of hard to miss. Okay, so I believe there were two more before there's one that we need to get, wasn't there? So, woman at mirror, there'll be wandering woman next, which is probably, yeah, it's the same woman. Hirosaka is one of the party of the writer Takamine that we're sort of retracing the steps of. And then girl pointing, she's in the storehouse. Okay, so there's going to be something after the next time we see Kyrie. Okay, can't go that way this time. Cutscene.
Mafuyu. Wait.
That is not Mafuyu. Nice. Not terrible scores. See, although we're playing on Nightmare mode, so it's very difficult, rather very dangerous to come into contact with a ghost, because they do, I think, double the normal damage on Nightmare difficulty. Because the camera is much more powered up than it would be at this point in your first playthrough, you're in a much better position for some of these early fights. Makes them much easier to deal with. Right, there is a ghost in that gap, I think, but maybe later. Not showing up at the minute. I think I've already got that one anyway, so that doesn't matter too much. Right. Just got to remember which way to go in here. Into the storehouse, I think. Yeah. Now, what was the answer to this? It's somewhere in the files, I think. That's the one. So, on the 13th day of the 12th month. So, I think it's 1312. Yeah, so the way this works is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers starting at 0 at the top, and they go around counterclockwise. So you have to go 1, 3, 1, 2. Right, this room, if I remember correctly, is actually not sort of a lot of stuff you have to do in here. But there are ghosts to find, and there's often items in here as well, so it's useful to come in here. Always good to have some medicine. Right, nothing much going on up here at the moment. What's he looking at? This is the classic thing with old survival horror games. Sort of seeing your character looking at something and you know that there's an item there, but you just haven't quite figured out where it is. These animations remind me of something that always impressed me about this game, and of a lot of survival horror games in general, which is how well they actually integrated the character in with the environment. So, for example, and Miku here is walking upstairs and stuff, rather than just doing a generic run animation up the stairs, as in a lot of games, and still, even so today, that happens. She's actually putting her feet on the stairs, and she's actually climbing them properly, and so on. I think the first time I specifically remember seeing that happening was in the original Resident Evil, where it didn't quite work because they were... it was a polygonal character doing it on a pre-rendered backdrop. And so obviously there wasn't a physical object that they could directly interact with. But actually, no, thinking about it, it might even have been Alone in the Dark did it first. But again, because that used pre-drawn backdrops and polygonal characters over the top, they didn't quite integrate perfectly. They didn't interact directly with the environment in the same way as Miku does in this. Right, what are you looking at now? Something behind here? What can you see, Miku? I need to know. Can't get in the corner. Nothing in there. Nothing in there. Oh, I'll tell a lie. There is one point later in the game where you need to come back into here, because there's There's doors that are locked by spirits in this, and you have to go and take a photograph of a spirit in a particular location to unlock the door. Okay, well, we'll leave that be then. Yeah, you have to take a picture of a spirit in a particular location to kind of dispel a talisman, I think it's depicted as. And you have to go in there once to do that, a little bit later. But the rest of the time, you're just going in there to try and get some items and stuff. Alright, so where are we going? So, this will take us into the Grand Hall, which I'm not sure we can... Oh no, we can go in there. Yeah, I know where that is. Let's have a peek in there. This is quite a creepy room because it's very large and it's divided by these sliding paper doors, and so you're never quite sure what you're going to encounter in each section of it. This is worth checking the sides though, because sometimes there are some items at the edges here. Such as over here. Although we really need any of that film at the minute, we have like 90 of them. Open. Thank you. Nothing there. Nothing there. Thing over there. Thing over there? No, thing over there later. And this door actually leads back to the main hallway, but you can't open it at the moment because it's wrapped up in hair, because that's creepy. So, head back this way. I was about to say you have a nasty fight in here at one point. I can't remember when it is. Turns out it's right now. Come on. Have some. Oh, yeah. Lovely amount of points. See, this is good training for when we go back to the mission mode after we've done this this playthrough. Because we can then enjoy the techniques we've mastered and the abilities we've unlocked. So I believe it was Ken, good friend and patron of Mario Gamer, who said that the paralyze function we unlocked last time is very helpful in getting high scores in the mission mode, so we'll be making good use of that. I can see that being very useful in the boss fights as well, so I'm kind of wishing that I'd unlocked it during my first playthrough of the game rather than slow, which turned out to not be as useful as it could have been. Right, the sound in here indicates that there's a spirit we can take a photograph of that is a hint to a puzzle. Oh, hello. Did I not get you? Hopefully that was Wandering Woman, because she seems to be standing in front. Yeah, burial room, that's where we are. Okay, so we've got her already, thankfully. So, here's one of these talismans I was talking about. You take a photograph of it, and it reveals the bit I was talking about earlier. So we're going to have to pop back to the storeroom in just a moment to break that seal. But in the meantime, can we look in here yet? Yes, we can. There's a save point in here. Who's talking? Not anyone we can photograph, I don't think. And we don't go through there until much later. Right, quick save. I'm just going to make sure that that voice we heard isn't a ghost we should have taken a picture of. Just while we save that. Right, it doesn't look that way. So, from the look of things, the next one we should come across is, I think, Woman on Porch, who's in the Cherry Atrium, which I think is the room we unlock by breaking the talisman seal. So that should mean when we go back to the storehouse, we'll also get the Kyrie ghost, who I think is pointing the way for us to look. There she is. See, she wants to help, really. Yeah, you do. Alright, so that's that. And back we go. Right, I'm going to save, because I think we have a missable ghost coming up very soon. Alright, wish me luck. Here we go. Woman on porch. Oh. Oh, hello. Maybe it's this one first. This is another talisman that we need to break. So I know what that is. And I suspect we'll run into Woman on Porch on the way there. Oh no. That's clearly Woman on Porch. Alright, well, we know what to do. Right. This time, run. Run like the wind around that corner. Forget the creepy voice, forget the crying baby, just go and get the ghost. Right, so out here, round here. There she is. Oh, fuck. Oh no, we're gonna have another man-in-closet situation. We are, aren't we? Oh dear! Right, this time I've got you, lady. Round here. Out here. Round here. Snappy snap. Lovely. Thank God for that. Right. Woman on porch. Woman on porch. There we go. Woman on atrium. We've already got her. And woman turning. So she's in the doll room. Then after that, we got a blank. So, we're safe for a little bit. So, let's take a quick photo of this. Not sure if you actually need to do that to break the talisman, but I will do just in case. And then we go this way. Quick. Oh. There's woman in atrium. Quick scout around for items. I think there's one over there. There we are. The audio tapes all have sort of extra bits of story and stuff that was recorded back when the ghosts you're finding are still alive. I'm not going to play all those now because you can explore those for yourself if you feel like you want to play this game for yourself. But yeah, there's some interesting story content in those tapes, just as there are in the files as well. It's the curse. Right. So ghosty ghosts to take pictures of around here. Stone mirror, already got one of them. Those islands, they become more accessible as the game progresses. Another one there. Probably already got that one, but doesn't hurt. Okay, so that's a different type of photo hint there. That's showing you that you have to find a means of lighting that lantern in order to trigger something. There's our talisman ghost. And I think that's it for here. So who's next on the list? A woman turning next. She'll be in the doll room. And then there's one we need to get after that. Okay. Before we go any further, I am just going to nip back to the rubble room and save, just in case. Since it's not very far away. Well, I can say with reasonable confidence that things today have so far gone quite a bit better than last time. Although that's not altogether difficult, is it? So, let's just, I think we're not a huge distance away from the end of the first chapter, so let's see if we can, how far we can make it before we wrap up for today. So we've got her already, but it doesn't hurt to take another picture. Okay, don't think there's anything else important here right now. There might be something over here. Yeah. Use spirit stones. That's just the door she's looking at. There's a secret door there, but I guess we can't go through there at the moment. So, why did we come here then? There must be some practical reason for coming in here, otherwise it wouldn't lock it off with the talisman. I've completely forgotten what it is. Oh well, never mind. I'll come back in a bit. Maybe we have to trigger something else first. Uh-huh. Or maybe... yeah, there we go. So we need to be able to get into the doll room to open that door, which leads us towards where the end of the chapter is. So you do need to photograph the talisman before you can get the actual unlocking spirit. It's not a room where you want to start hearing voices, is it? Especially not if those voices belong to actual ghosts. Just back away slowly, just like I do from real children. Oh, that's unpleasant. She can paralyze you, that's not fun. Especially not with how much health that takes off. Jesus Christ. That's what makes Nightmare Mode into Nightmare, if you were curious. That's 3/4 of my health in one hit. Right, so let's create some space. Charge up. Circle strafe. And if we get a shutter chance, use it. Oh no! No! Oh, this is going very badly. Right, maybe forget the shutter chance. Let's just take her out. There we go. I made that a lot harder than it needed to be. Okay, now we can go through the other door. But before that, I'm going to go and save. Because, you know, paranoia. Actually, I think there is a save point shortly after where we're going next, but I don't want to find myself missing a ghost and having to do all that little bit again, so... Better safe than sorry, as they say. Right. Onward, brave Miku. Ooh. You are broken neck. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, there's a thing over there. Let's get the thing. I'm saving those spirit stones up for the really tough fights. Because there's a limited quantity of them in the game and no means of getting any more, so it's worth saving them for when you really need them. Those are the things you need to trigger the special abilities, like the paralyze function. Right, man turning. I'm having a horrible feeling. Yeah, we missed one. I'm just going to check who we missed. I'm hoping it's not that falling one. So yeah, we've missed one, and I have a horrible feeling that I've saved after it was possible to get her. In which case we're just going to have to move past it, because there's no means of easily getting back other than replaying the chapter, which, if so, I'll do off camera. Yeah, there she goes, because she just jumps and then immediately becomes broken neck. So, what I'll do is we'll just make our way to the end of the chapter. I will replay the chapter off camera. Uh-oh. No. Oh no. Or I'll die. That's good too. That's what a stone mirror does, as you can see. Where have you gone? Where are you? Go away. Leave me alone. Right, yes, as I was saying, I will do this, and then replay the chapter off camera, and then we will pick up from there next time, hopefully with a fully up-to-date ghost list. Fingers crossed. Right, since we lost our stone mirror there, I'm just going to nip through here and get the one that was still lying around. As I said earlier, it's important to remember where these stone mirrors are, so that if a situation like that which just occurred happens, you can just go and get them. Sometimes it's actually to your advantage to let yourself get into a position where the stone mirror has to be used, just to save your healing items for other situations. Because it's basically a free replenishment to full health, which can save you a few herbal medicines or sacred waters or whatever. There's man turning. That's the lighter, which we can go and use on the garden lantern. Can't remember why you do that, but I guess we'll find out in a minute. Ah, because you got a thing to solve a puzzle. Oh no! Have I got her already? No. Although, not sure where she fits in. Interesting. Maybe they're not in complete chronological order. Because Woman Who Jumps comes from up there. And I remember seeing her. I just clearly haven't taken a picture of her for some reason. So, well, like I say, I'm going to replay this chapter to try and get her anyway, so you're going to have to look out for that anyway, so we'll come back to her later. You may recognise this room from some of the mission mode stuff we did earlier on. It's a very awkward place to have to fight ghosts in. Such as lady here. Oh no! Let's make good use of that zoom function for once. Yeah, that's a massive help actually. I should be doing that a lot more than I have been. Right. 3, 6, 6, 9, if I remember rightly. No. I did not remember rightly. Let me check my file. Wrong button. It should be 3669. What did I do wrong? Zero, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, that's right. 6, 6, 9. There we go. Okay, save point here. Let's save, even though we've messed up. As I say, I believe one of the things you can do with a New Game Plus is you can just replay a chapter that you've done. So I will do that off camera when we're done here. And we are getting pretty close to the end of the chapter, so I'll take us to the end, and then we'll proceed onwards next time. You and me both, Takamine.
Tell him what?
I think one of the big adjustments in the later games is a lot of ghosts take quite a bit longer to take down in terms of the number of photos they need. I don't want to lift the lid of the well, I want to take the sparkly thing. Thank you. The other thing that seems to have a nightmare difficulty is normally when you can hear the sort of staticky sound of a ghost being nearby, the little light at the top of the screen will give you an indication of roughly where that ghost is. On Nightmare, that doesn't seem to happen. Uh-oh. Well, I'm just missing left, right, and centre, aren't we? Right, how did this work? So that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and that goes there. That's an easy one. The later ones get a bit more difficult. Because there's several puzzles like that. I think this is the boss for the chapter. Oh, another good start. Wow, one hit kill. Alright, well that's dealt with him. And the gate in question is just here, I believe. Yep, it's another puzzle. So, you go there. You go there. You go there. You go there. And you go there.
Is this the holy mirror? It's just a piece of it.
The outfit change is not a continuity error, by the way. It's the fact I'm wearing one of the special costumes, and this is a pre-rendered cutscene.
The robe? No.
And that's chapter 1 down for the count. So, let's leave that there. As I say, I'll try and fill in those couple of holes in the ghost list that we completely passed by off camera, and then we'll pick up from chapter 2 next time. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moe Gamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buying me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.